what's new this week?
Over the Hedge is the new big animated offering from DreamWorks. Once again, it has grown-up stars, although it's a kid-friendly film. So we're talking about Bruce Willis, Gary Shandling, who everyone obviously knows.
There's usually a big moral tale in these children's animations, isn't there? What is the big moral?
Well, OK, the big moral tale here is consumerism, probably bad. Great big cars being driven by one person, probably bad. Cute animals, probably good. So there's a kind of,
that sounds frankly disappointing.
Exactly. There's an eco-friendly thing going on. And the voice artist, one of them whom is, incidentally, is William Shatner, who I haven't heard much from ages, though I hear that apparently he's very big on television in some legal programme at the moment.
Apparently.
That I haven't, since Star Trek, I kind of lost. No, what was it called? T.J. Hooker was the last thing I think I saw him in. So, proper big Hollywood stars doing gags that are cine-literate. At one point, one of the creatures looks at something and says "Rosebud," and all the film critics in the audience who've seen Citizen Kane, ha ha ha, very good. And there's as I said, a kind of vaguely eco-friendly message about the whole thing. And you're sitting there watching it and you're thinking, you know what? It's quite funny. There are some toilet gags in it that are quite funny. There are some breaking wind gags in it that are quite funny. There's a gag about the animals waking up after hibernation. They need to go to the toilet. That's quite funny. And I don't doubt for 1 minute that the film will take a huge amount of money. It's already taken something like $145 million in America. And I don't doubt for 1 minute that kids will enjoy it in a, lively and jolly and vibrant way, that the possum's pretending to play dead, all that sort of stuff. Fine. However, as I was watching it, the old git in me was sitting there thinking, what's wrong with this picture? And I kind of figured it out as best I could. It's a number of things. The first one is, we have now reached the point with CG 3D graphics that we are completely used to them. When we saw Toy Story for the first time, it was kind of like being drunk. You couldn't quite believe that you could do that kind of 3D graphic quite so well. Now we've seen it, we've seen it in Madagascar recently, we've seen it in the wild, we've seen it in Over the Hedge. It's just more of the same. As far as the grown-up stars doing the cine-literate, smart, nudge to the adults at the same time as doing, all the gags for the kids, well, I kind of felt that after Shark Tale there was a bit of a watershed, no pun intended, because Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese riffing in Shark Tale was meant to be funny for me, and yet it wasn't. And of course the kids didn't understand what the deal was, because of course the kids haven't seen Taxi Driver unless they live with people who allow them to see 18 rated videos, in which case you know where I stand on that, and slap wrists all round.
And their children should be confiscated.
But exactly. But the most important, thank you for saying that rather than me, the most important part of all this is this. I know I went on about the death of narrative cinema before, but classic children's movies have classic timeless themes that are beyond whatever is immediately sort of facetiously postmodern at the moment. You look at Sleeping Beauty, you look at Snow White, you look at Pinocchio, you look at all those classic things, right? They are timeless tales, they last forever. And they still exist. Toy Story, in 50 years' time, will look every bit as good as it did when it first came out. Miyazaki's Spirited Away, and probably Howl's Moving Castle, will look every bit as good as it did in 50 years' time, and you will still look at the animation and wonder at it. This will be in one ear, it will make you laugh, it will be out, and it will be gone